It's my pleasure to introduce our first spotlight speaker, Moses Reharo, an associate board member of AMREF Health Africa and an alumnus of Teach for Uganda. Moses, welcome.
In 2002, when I was aged 9 years, I received the shocking news that my mother had died. And at the time, I was still grappling with the thought of having no father in my life. And then I had to now grapple with the thought of having no mother for the rest of my life. That was my reality at the time. 9 years old, living in an obscure, remote village in rural western Uganda with my grandmother. And so I asked myself, what can I do to try and have a fair shot at life? And the only way to do that was through education. I was fortunate enough to attend an education thanks to the many scholarships and help that I got along the way. And I went on to graduate with an economics degree from Makerere University, and I went on to have the option, after graduation, to have the option of working either for Uganda's central bank or join Teach for Uganda's inaugural fellowship program that began in 2017. I chose the latter. Teach for Uganda's mission, which was to provide quality education in low-income communities in Uganda, was not just personal, it was also fulfilling. But then I must say that I wasn't really so prepared at what was to come when I was placed in those rural communities in central Uganda. And when I went there, what I saw personally I hadn't seen in my past experiences. There were children who would come to school at 7 in the morning, and they would spend the whole day without having a single meal, and we would still expect them to perform in the classroom. Secondly, when we had some disturbing reports in the community that in the evening hours, in those dark hours, our young learners, female learners, were being defiled in those dark corners by the community males. And also we didn't have any digital learning tools to use when we're going to teach them. So there was the issue of hunger and the issue of a lack of electricity that we actually used to try and use digital tools to teach our children and also provide safety to our young female learners. And in order to solve the hunger challenge, I had to rally every member in the community, right from the local leadership to the school administration, right to the head teachers and the teachers and the parents to see what we could do to address the issue of hunger. And what ended up happening is we addressed that issue by launching a feeding program that benefited more than 500 learners in the school. And in order to solve the issue of a lack of electricity in the school, it was insurmountable at the time because it had to involve fundraising, reaching out to our friends and well-wishers within the community and beyond. And so what we ended up doing was to try and begin a campaign and bring on board everyone who we believed would be of help and kind of chip in what they would. And so we used social media. We reached out to the local community leaders and everyone who we believed would at least assist us with resources. And we did it. We raised $4,000, which on the surface may sound a small amount of money, but in our community in Uganda, that was a lot of money. And we ended up installing electricity in the community and at the school, which helped us begin to use digital learning tools and also provide safety for our young learners in the evenings. My experience at Teach for Uganda didn't leave me the same as an individual and a person who really was passionate about leadership and problem solving. I learned the values of collective leadership and collaboration, perseverance and resilience, But above all, I also learned the lesson of, valuing the value of community-driven and people-first approaches in solving issues at the community level. And what I also did after the fellowship, I wanted to use those lessons to see how I can incorporate them in my own life. And so I went on to co-found a venture capital firm that provided financing to Uganda's young entrepreneurs. And that also helped me to get a full scholarship to Georgetown University's School of Foreign Service. Thereafter, when I finished the fellowship, I now joined the UN Foundation's Sustainable Development Initiative team, and I became a valuable team member. And I really relied heavily on what I had learned throughout my time at Teach for Uganda's fellowship, and I became sort of like the go-to person for ideas and what we could do to try and drive forth our agenda. And today, I'm really proud to also be an associate board member of AMREF Health Africa, which is Africa's largest nonprofit healthcare provider. And currently, we're trying to sort of see what we can do as members of the associate board to fundraise resources and begin to see how we can help communities in Ethiopia and other parts of Africa to try and address public health issues and other issues related to inequity, gender inequality, and so on and so forth. What I'm trying to sort of drive here is that it is really important to invest in the right people, because if you invest in the right people who are locally rooted and globally informed, then you can have the right team that can drive change in the communities. And so thank you so much, and I hope that this kind of like informs people to try and give a chance and invest in people who can drive that change that we need at the community level. Thank you so much.